Should the Jordan line be messing around with an iconic silhouette like the Air Jordan 1? That's the question we're asking in today's video, because for the second time this week I'm reviewing an Air Jordan 1 that isn't quite in its natural element. It's had something mixed up in it. And today what we're talking about is the Nike Air Jordan 1 High OG Zoom. This is the Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel です。毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. And every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews with a little bit of the butter movement thrown in at the end. But we like to keep the sneakers front and center first and keep the butter movement talk till the end. So without further ado, let's have a look at these Air Jordan 1 Zooms. And that's kind of important because, like I said at the top of this video, what they're doing is they're messing around with an iconic silhouette. You don't usually get Zoom technology on Air Jordan 1s, but they have gone ahead and done that, and they haven't done it discreetly. They're front and center saying this is a Zoom sneaker. We'll look at the detailing on here that shows you that, and then also we'll look at the two signatures of this sneaker, which is about the uppers colorway and the outsoles colorway as well. But speaking of colors, there's a little red and white button down below that I'd like you to click if you've already subscribed to the channel. I truly appreciate it, like really, because we are trying to grow this thing and keep this thing moving. So if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. I appreciate it tremendously. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do and help the channel to grow. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every single one of my videos, Toroku yoroshiku onegai shimasu. どんどんチャンネルが大きくなっているので、800人以上になりましたので、もう登録してくれた方にありがとうございます。感謝します。今から今から登録すると助かるので、ぜひよろしくお願いします。Okay, so without further ado, let's have a look at these guys and talk about the main features on there. Now, when I first looked at them, this is one of my favorite things to do on a sneaker, is when I first look at it and then I dig deeper and I realize it's more than what I thought it was. When I first looked at them, I thought it was just a dark charcoal grey upper, and I didn't realize anything about them until the very last piece of research I did said that it had a crazy iridescent upper when you shine a certain light on them. And I was like, what are you talking about? These guys are charcoal grey, you know. I didn't really see any colouring whatsoever, but then I saw this, bing, and that picture right there shows you very clearly what happens when these guys get a light shone on them. And it's incredible, crazy looking sneaker. Really changed my opinion of them completely. I just thought they were a very simple upper with a cool outsole. The outsole's still cool, but now that we know that the upper shines and sparkles in a way like this when you hit it with a certain kind of light in certain circumstances, it definitely is a different sneaker to me, and it's a really, really cool innovation. I'm not sure about the Zoom sole and midsole, outsole sort of thing going on there. I don't know what effect that has and what difference that'll have for feel, but they have gone ahead and put Zoom branding on in a lot of different places. My favorite place is where it says Zoom Air at the top of the tongue in red on the black background there. I think that's a pretty cool piece of branding. And then above the swoosh on the lateral side, you can see it says Zoom on there as well. So that's two places where they are sort of kind of very clearly saying that this is a Zoom sneaker, and they're not kind of hiding that fact or trying to trade on the regular Air Jordan 1 line, you know, without telling people about that Zoom part of things. Wow. I don't know if you guys heard that, but there's a big noise outside. Now the funny thing is about the Zoom, there's an awful lot about the sneaker to look at. It's a really cool looking sneaker, and one of my favorite parts of it is that outsole. I thought the outsole was the single feature of it until I found out about the upper. But the outsole actually, now you have to, I really want to kind of, I'm gonna get now, get in your face a little bit here, he says in his Scottish accent. I'm gonna get in your face a wee bit and tell you about the sneaker. That I really want to kind of point out the 3-part sole. So we'll start with the midsole, which is black, and I want to really focus in on there, and I hope I've zoomed in. I hope I've zoomed in on the midsole outsole section there, and you can see the clear delineation between that translucent outsole and that black midsole. So part 1, black midsole, or is it charcoal grey? I think it's black. Part 2 though, there's part 2 and part 3, the translucent outsole. Now looking from afar, so you should by now behind me see that there's a translucent outsole. And it's, you know, you're just looking at it and you're not really thinking about it. But if you really, really look at it, you can see that the outsole itself, like the outer rim of it, is one part. So we'll call that the outer rim. And then the center part of it, the middle part of the outsole, is another part of it. And you think that these are the same, and then you realize when you look closely at it that they're not. So if we stay with that outer rim, the front part, the toe box part of it, is a light blue, icy blue translucent color, and then as you go back it gets darker and darker blue, and it's at the back part of the sneaker that you can see the difference between the rim and the panel, if you like, because at the front of the sneaker, the toe area of the sneaker, on the panel part of the outsole, it's very similar, if not the same, as the rim part with that icy translucent blue color, but then as you fade to the back, it fades to red. And then it's that red place where you can really see the distinction between the panel and the rim, and you can see that it's actually two different parts. So at first glance you're just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a translucent outsole, but then you realize it's actually a two-part translucent outsole where the rim is light icy blue to blue, and then the panel, or the outsole itself, is light icy blue to red. And staying on that panel, you can see through that translucence inside. Now I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to say there's a bunch of ends on there, and I don't know if you guys are looking at it thinking, yeah, there's a bunch of ends on there, or if you're looking at it saying, no, they're not ends. But I was like, they're ends, and I was confused. I was like, why would they have an N on the bottom of the sneaker? My research tells me that there's Zoom branding on the bottom of the sneaker, but all I can see is all these ends. But then I realized that if you turn them sideways, they're actually Z's or Z's, depending on which part of the world you come from. The Zoom Z or Z there. And it took me a while to work out that they weren't ends. I don't know about you at home, maybe you're the same, you're looking at this and going, I thought they were ends. And I really did think that they were ends, but they're actually Z's or Z's on there as well. So the outsole, the whole outsole package for me is absolutely fire. I like it very much. And then on the upper, when you look at that, you know, in its regular colorway, you're thinking, yeah, that's all right. But then when you shine a light on it and you see that iridescence, it's really, really, really cool. I did have a couple of questions when I was researching this sneaker. One was, could they have gone with a different color of lace? I'm not sure about this. Initially I thought they were the wrong color of laces, but then when I dug a bit deeper and I realized that the Zoom Air branding in red on the tongue is on a black background to match the black laces, and then also the Wings logo is on, of course the upper is that dark charcoal grey, but the Wings logo itself is black. So you've got the black Wings logo, the black panel where the red branding on the tongue is, and then the black laces. So 3 hits of black may be enough to justify the black laces, or maybe they should have gone with a different color of lace on these. I'm not entirely sure now. I was at the start, I was very sure. I was like, they should have gone with a different color laces, but now I'm not so sure about it. Maybe they are the right color of laces, but maybe you can tell me what you think of that in the comments down below. But all in all, it's a pretty fire looking sneaker if you ask me. Originally I asked the question in this video whether or not the Jordan line should be messing around with this iconic silhouette, which the Air Jordan 1 most definitely is. I'm kind of a yes on it, to be honest. I really do like this sneaker. I think it's a really cool sneaker. I don't mind them playing around with a silhouette if it looks good. The one that I always go to talk about a silhouette that they should never have played around with is the Air Jordan 4 fly knit. I just think that was every shade of wrong for me. I was like appalled by the fly knit on the Air Jordan 1 4s. So sometimes I don't agree with it, but in the case of these Zooms, I think it's a really cool looking sneaker, and I do like that tie up, and I do like what they've done with these guys, especially that icy blue outsole and the different colors on there, and that iridescent upper that flashes. Now I wasn't sure about the upper in terms of material. I thought it looked like a nubuck material, but now that it's got that iridescent element to it, I don't know if that's going to change the material. I don't know if you can make nubuck, for example, iridescent, so I'm not entirely sure what the upper is actually made of, and I'd love to know. So for me, you know, this could have been a big miss, a single color upper Air Jordan 1. You know, Air Jordan 1 is famous for its contrasting colors between like toe box and swoosh and midfoot and things like that. So a single color upper, you're kind of like, really? And then when you dig into it, it's like, yeah, you know what, that's actually cool. That's a fire looking sneaker. So all in all, I say yes to these guys. I don't mind that they're messing around with the Air Jordan 1 silhouette because it looks good, but I'm not saying you should always do that. And for the second time this week, it's cool that I get to look at an Air Jordan 1 that is a different one. We had the Fly Ease, I think it was called, a few days ago, and now here we are with the Zooms, which I think are pretty cool. And now Butter Movement stuff, just a quick shout out to the Butter Movement guys out there who are continuing to support the channel. It's unbelievable the number of comments that I get that are you know, yeah, let's keep this Butter Movement going, let's do this. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm trying to record videos that I can drop at any time. I've recorded some vlogs that I can drop at any time. Like this shoe, for example, releases on December 7th, so I kind of have to drop this video before December 7th. But the vlog about my Tokyo commute, I did a vlog about my Tokyo commute. I can do that any day. I can drop that any day. So I've been trying to gather content so that I'm ahead of the curve. And that will mean that I can do other kinds of videos because I don't have to worry about my daily content because I've got stuff in reserve. And that's a big thing for the Butter Movement because I think the Butter Movement is looking for more innovation and a more variety in my drops. So hopefully I'll be able to bring that to you guys real soon. And I am trying to sort of stock up a stock of videos that I can use so that I don't have to do these daily drops which are dependent on the date that the sneaker drops. So we'll see if that's going to work out for me. Please keep an eye out for those videos. When you do see them, make sure to hit them up with a comment and a like and things like that, as much as these sneaker videos, and it will help the channel grow, and I appreciate it very much. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Do what I do at the end of every single one of my videos, which is tell you that I do this every single day, and because I do this every single day, it means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.